Good morning. Hello again, folks. This is the final installment. I believe this is part 6 of the restoration of this 1934 Maytag Model 30 wringer washer. So I had a 15-hour workday yesterday, but I got it done. It's all back together and running. I was under a time crunch because the museum would like to do a demonstration today. So after a long day yesterday, and I got up super early this morning. I still had the motor to mount and the board, the motor board to drill out and attach to the frame. So I'll show you all that. Here we go. So there's the machine, an example of the old one. That was my parts machine, and I only had to use a couple of bolts, so that was pretty good. Here we are, and for those who have just joined us, normally I do full restorations, but in this case, the museum and I agreed to keep the original decal, both front and back. So I did that, and this has been clear coated. So in spite of the scuffs at the front, the paint at the sides is pretty good. And these decals are very hard to find now. And of course, to have one custom made is very expensive. So here's the motor board. In later years, specifically with the Model 32, which came after the 30, they, meaning Maytag, got rid of the motor board and mounted the motor directly to the base. And I'm not sure if it is quieter with the board. I'm thinking it actually might be. In any event, there it is. This is an old Hoover motor, thus the H. Who knows what happened to the original Maytag motor. And it's quite old. It's got oil ports, as you can see here, for the shafts. And in fact, a couple of minutes ago when I tested it, it had, the shaft was not turning. So I shot some WD-40 in it, and then we'll have to get some 3-in-1 motor, electric motor oil. Can't remember if I mentioned it before, but the front belt guard is missing on this machine because it had a gasoline engine, and when you have the gas engine on it, there's no room for the front belt guard. And unfortunately, we haven't found it. So that's an item that remains on the list to be sourced if possible. There's some final painting to do, as I mentioned in the previous video. Touch up after assembly. There where it connects to the wringer frame, the wringer head needs to be touched up. And then all the little bolts and little pieces, I'll just hand paint. And there's the old original decal that I rescued. And in the previous video, I explained how I did that. So let's plug her in and see how it works. I'm just going to pause the video here for a second and plug it in. Okay, now please excuse me if I have to rush and unplug this if the electric motor seizes again. Hopefully it won't. There she goes. Let's turn the wringer on. There's forward and reverse. And as you can see, the automatic drain pan. Let's see if I can mount this under here. Oh, there it comes. Pops down so that it directs the water back into the wash tub or into the rinse tub, which direction the roller is going. And here's the agitator. We'll switch the lever on. So up and running. I've got to water test it, and then after that we'll do the demo. Thanks for watching.